Hey guys, we're back. And this time we're going to be taking a look at the Star Trek Attack Wing Klingon Faction Pack Blood Oath. This is another one that was sent to me by WizKids to check out these cool new faction packs, which are basically a fleet in a box to get you going. And the Klingons are probably my second favorite fleet in Attack Wing. And we will get in and take a look. First off, down here we have our ships, and they're in the new paints, which we'll get to in a little bit. They're much lighter colors than the older gold copper ones. We have our token sheets. I think there's two sheets here of various tokens, and we will get to those after we get those punched out. We have our card packs here. We have the hubs to the dials and the pegs for the bases. We have our bases, and that's it. These plastic trays work pretty good to store too, as long as you only have this fleet. Cards fit in here nice. All your tokens can go in bags in here. But once you start getting more, you can pull these out and use the trays for storage or whatever your existing storage is. But we'll get everything punched out and set up, and we'll go over everything. And there's a look at everything that comes in the pack. We have our 4 ships here. We have all of our shield tokens, all the captain tokens, all these reminder tokens. I'm not a huge fan of the new reminder tokens. They do say what they're for on the back, but I kind of preferred the ones that they used to say what they were for on the back, I think, but the front side literally just gave you like +1 attack or whatever they were. I don't actually use reminder tokens anyway, but I still think the old ones were nicer. We got some extra pegs up here. We have the dials for our ships. We have all our ship cards, all the upgrade cards, 2 missions, an ambassador rules card, and then the maneuver cards here. For our ships, we have the big Negh'Var class, the IKS Devil. I'm sure I'm saying these wrong. I don't speak Klingon, but like the stat line, shields are a little light for, you think for a big heavy battleship like this would have more shield, but I think the old Negh'Var was the same way. 1 tech upgrade, weapon upgrade, 3 crew upgrade for 28 points. This has, when attacking, if this ship is cloaked, disable a Klingon crew upgrade equipped to the ship. Do not flip the ship's cloak token to its red side and place a battle station beside the ship. So at the cost of disabling one of your crew, you can fire while cloaked and not decloak. You also get a free battle station out of it. That's pretty cool. Overall, a nice ship. A little pricey points-wise, but I wish it had a bigger shield, but I think there's upgrades out there that may be able to boost that. I don't know if the Klingons have any, though, so you might have to cross-faction for that. Then we have our generic Negh'Var class. Again, even weaker on the shields. Still kind of pricey, though, I think, for what it is. 5 attack, that was nice. 6 hull. So, still got an 8 total on here between hull and shield, so it's not bad. But you're going to lose one of your crew upgrades on here as well when going to the no-name one. Next we have a Katinga class, the IKS Katango. And this one's got a pretty average stat bar all the way down. 2 weapon upgrades, 2 crew upgrades, 21 points. Lack of a tech upgrade on there. It's kind of hurting. But its ability here allows you to equip a Klingon tech upgrade with a printed cost of 4 points or less to the ship for free, even if it exceeds the restrictions. So it kind of makes up for itself on there. And the fact that you get it for free is nice too. Kind of like that. Then we have the IKS Takag. Again, same stat line on there. This one has a tech upgrade, weapon upgrade, 2 crew for 21 points. And our ability is a free action, perform a sensor echo even if this ship isn't cloaked. If the ship is cloaked, you can use the 3 maneuver template for this action. So it gives a lot of added maneuverability there. The ability to do sensor echo while not cloaked is an interesting combo on itself. Not a bad ship. I kind of like it. I'm not a big fan of the Katingas normally, so seeing some that are playable and useful. Then, of course, we have the generic Katinga class. 16 points is pretty nice for a respectable level here. Only 6 total here between the shield and hull, which kind of makes it on the lower to mid-average. But not a bad ship. Again, you get 2 of those. And then we have a Burrell class, the IKS Kaskari. And this average stats, but they're a pretty maneuverable ship, so compensates for that. 2 weapon upgrade, 2 crew upgrade. 16 points though is really nice. And our ability is when attacking a ship with a hull of 4 or greater, steal a scan token, a battle station token, or a evasive maneuver token from beside the defending ship. Place them next to this ship. When attacking a Klingon ship or a ship with a Klingon captain, you get to add a hit to your roll. So that's a pretty cool combo on there. This also has dual faction for Klingon and independent. So it can be used in a variety of builds. Pretty nice ship overall though. And finally we have the generic Burrell class. Again, dual faction on this one, which is kind of neat. 13 points, which is really nice, but it is a little squishy with only a 5 total here between shield and hull. 4 firepower is pretty nice though on a pretty maneuverable ship, and it can carry that auxiliary weapon, so can do some interesting builds with these, I think. On our ship maneuverability here, of course, the Negh'Var. It's actually surprisingly nimble. All the Klingon ships are, but for its size, those 3 hard turns are reds, and does have that U-turn in there, which is nice, also in red. No reverse and no turns on 4. 4 is pretty average speed on things, but overall, it's pretty much what you'd expect from a Klingon ship. Hasn't changed. Then we have our Katinga class. They have the exact same maneuverability as the Negh'Var, which is kind of funny because they're a smaller ship. But again, the hard 3s are red. U-turn is red, of course. No turns in the 4. There's 2 of those. Then we have the Burrell class. They're a smaller ship, quite a bit more maneuverable. Those hard 3s are in white. And then we also have the U-turn in red there. So all these ships have the exact same maneuverability. It's just they change up on the Burrell having the white turns in there. The actual bases, you can see the Negh'Var class has a 90-degree front arc, no rear arc, which really hurts it. So if you're looking at borrowing secondary weapons or whatnot, you only have the primary arc to work with. For the model, hasn't changed that much. Got some new coloring. The new, I don't know if it's a light green. It's kind of an interesting color they used. A real light copper maybe, or a weathered copper. But they've done some more detailing work. I think these vents didn't used to be painted on the old one. Not a bad looking ship. They definitely stand out when sitting next to the older ones. Then we have our Katinga class Takag. Again, 90-degree front arc, 90-degree rear arc on these. Same as the previous Katingas. Nothing spectacular there. The model itself, it's fine to see after all this time they finally got the bridge on correctly. I know the old models of these, they had a problem where the bridge was actually rotated 90 degrees. That's kind of funny. I think they've done a better job on the paneling back here, at least from what I've seen. The engine's painted. Overall, nice looking model. I think they've done a fair job of updating these. Of course, it may be an older sculpt at this point. I'm just not used to it. I just know some of the real original sculpts had some issues. For the other Katinga class, the Contanko here, the exact same thing, same model, same base. There's not much to go over there. And then our Burrell class here, 90-degree front arc, 90-degree rear arc. And the model itself, I think, is the same one that they used for Gul Dukat's ship in the Cardassian Faction Pack. Updated paint to the original. Kind of disappointed they didn't do the plating on the other side of the wings. Of course, they didn't paint it on the upper side either, so that's something I might add in myself, but I kind of skipped out on these ones a little. I think there's even a, I don't know if it's paint or what, if you can see, they glopped it on there and filled in one of the vents, but I think that's just a one-off, because I don't think my other model had that, so it's not a problem with the model, it's a problem with the painting. On to our other upgrades. For our captains, we got a bunch here. Start us off, we have Kang. Captain skill 8, 1 elite talent for 5 points. When defending during the modify attack dice step, you can spend the ship's target lock. The attacking ship must re-roll all of its attack dice. It's the first time I've seen a target lock used backward, basically. It's making the opponent re-roll instead of you. So, interesting concept there, and it's a risky chance if they roll exceptionally well, you can make them re-roll all of them, but there's always a chance that they roll better, they can roll more crits, and who knows what. Next we have Koloth. Captain skill is 7, 1 elite talent for 4 points. When an opposing ship within range performs a maneuver, place 2 time tokens by this card. Perform the maneuver on this ship's dial with a speed of 2, and it's within range 1 to 2. So whenever somebody is within 1 to 2 of you, makes a maneuver, you get to make an extra speed 2 maneuver. Kind of interesting. I like added mobility. Works great on the smaller ships too, where you can do just about anything with it too. Next we have the Albino. Captain skill 7, 1 elite talent. He's dual faction, Klingon and independent. 4 points. When attacking a Klingon ship or a ship with a Klingon captain, roll +1 attack die. When attacking once per game, if this attack hits, discard a crew equipped to the defending ship. And then during the activation phase, once per game, you can make this ship activate last. So, kind of an interesting multi-use captain there. I like this ability here. Combines with the Burrell class ship, which is I think what he's supposed to go to. But you get the bonus from the ship and the bonus from him. So you're starting to do an extra hit every time and rolling an extra die every time if you meet the requirements. Next we have Kang again. Different version of him. 7 captain skill, 1 elite talent, 4 points. At the start of the game, target a captain equipped to an opposing ship. When attacking, during the modify attack dice step, if the target captain is equipped to a defending ship, discard this card, add 2 criticals. So basically you sacrifice your captain to gain 2 additional criticals when attacking the ship with your rival captain on board. Not sure if I'd use him. That's a really cool ability, but at the same time, you're sacrificing your captain. Maybe if you had him and an admiral on board to take over afterward. And finally, we have Core. And he can only go on a Klingon ship. Captain skill of 7. 1 elite talent for 4 points. You may equip the Dahar Master elite talent upgrade to this for free. As a free action, you place an auxiliary token beside this ship. Target all friendly Klingon ships within your range 1 to 3 there. Remove all red target lock tokens beside the target ships and place them beside this ship. Basically, you're forcing everyone to target him instead of your allied ships. Kind of an interesting one, thematic to the character. Onto our crew upgrades. We have Yeto. He's dual faction, Klingon and independent. 4 points. As an action, discard this card and target an opposing ship that has no active shields within 1 to 2. Disable a crew upgrade on the target ship and or steal a crew upgrade from the target ship, ignoring the ship's restrictions. Kind of like that, especially if you're playing against Federation with heavy crew combos. The ability to disable and steal. That's and or, so you can do any, but I take that as the and being you could do both. So killing off or disabling one of their crewmen and taking one for yourself can really screw up some of those really crew heavy combos, especially the Federation are known for. Next we have Kolana. 2 points. When one or more time tokens would be placed on a weapon upgrade equipped to this ship, place 1 fewer tokens. If this ship is cloaked and it's a Klingon ship, or a Klingon weapon upgrade, place 2 fewer tokens instead. So you get one of those weapons that only takes 2 tokens. This lets you put 2 fewer on there. So it works really well with like basic photon torpedoes, things like that. Interesting. I like her. Next we have Mara. 2 points. Add a scan action to the ship's action bar. When the captain of the ship would be disabled or discarded, discard this ship instead. She could be really useful with the one Kang upgrade back here, where you can discard him in order to do the 2 criticals to a captain or a ship. You could discard her and basically use his ability twice. So I see that as being really useful. Next we have a Klingon gunner. 2 points. When attacking during the modify attack dice step, discard this card to add a hit. That one's pretty nice. 1 use, but only 2 points. Could be worth it in a pinch. And last we have Ch'Targ. He's 3 points. On the end phase, remove an auxiliary token beside the ship. Flip this ship's cloak to its green side. So basically he can keep you cloaked. You fire, which puts you to the red. He can flip you back over to the green, as well as getting rid of auxiliary tokens. So you can do some interesting combos with him on board, I think. Then we got our elite talents. Start off here with a death worthy of Stovacor. This can only go on a Klingon captain. 4 points. As an action, discard this card and a crew upgrade equipped to this ship to target an opposing ship within 1 to 2. Discard an upgrade equipped on the target ship. If that upgrade's cost is higher than the cost of the crew you discarded, then that ship gets +1 attack rolls for this game round. Otherwise, you just remove a upgrade from them. So again, lots of things in here to disable or screw up combo heavy crew bills. That can be used on any upgrade too, so you take out weapons with it or other things. Next we have Dahar Master. These can only be used in Klingons. I think the difference is the square boxes can only be put on a Klingon captain. This means you can only put on a Klingon ship. I'm new to these new symbols, so I may get them wrong. I apologize if I did, but I think that's the difference. 2 points here. And this can only be equipped to a captain named Kang, Koloth, or Kor. Increases the captain skill of this captain by 1 for each copy of Dahar Master in your fleet, including this one. During the activation phase, this ship can perform a cloak action or a target lock as a free action. Very nice overall for 2 points. Boosting your captain skill might be worth the 2 points alone. Getting free actions, especially target locks and cloaks, which are both useful, are nice. Definitely like that one. And you actually have 3 copies of that, so you can put one of these on each of 3 different captains in your fleet if you have all 3 of the guys on here, and then you're increasing each of their captain skills by 3, which is really nice. So I like those. Shame that they're limited to specific captains, but definitely useful. Then we have our weapon upgrades. start off with concussive charges. I think we've seen this one before. It can only be on a Klingon ship. It has forward and rear fire arcs that it has to shoot out of. It is 2 points. The attack value of this weapon is equal to the ship's primary weapon value, so it varies depending on what ship you put it on. It has a range 1 to 2. As an attack, expend the ship's cloak token, raise your shields, place 2 time tokens on this card, target an opposing ship. If this card is equipped to a Katinga class ship, it rolls +1 attack die. For each uncancelled hit or crit, remove 1 token of your choice besides the defending ship. Kind of a nice thing to people who have abilities to get a multiple tokens a turn. You can start knocking those tokens off, possibly breaking up their combo or whatever they had planned. The fact that this doesn't require a target lock means that you can use your target lock on the side to do reroll to make the hit even better. And yeah, if you're firing it from the Katinga, you get a bonus to the damage as well, which puts it up to a 5-die attack to start with, which is pretty nice. You have 2 copies of those, and I'm not sure if it's any better or worse than the old one. I can't remember the exact wording on the old one, but definitely a nice upgrade. And then you have Waylay, which is a forward-firing weapon. It can only be mounted on a ship with a hull value of 3 or less. For 2 points, the attack value is equal to the ship's primary weapon value. Range 1 to 2. As an attack, you place 2 time tokens on this and target an opposing ship. If it's equipped to a Burrell class ship, you get to put an auxiliary token next to the defending ship. After making the attack, the ship can perform a 1 left or right bank and place a basic maneuver. Basically, it lets you go in, make a quick attack, move out, uses your normal attack value. You're limited to range 2, but you also give them a auxiliary token for it, and you're moving that additional move. So let you swoop in, fire, swoop out. It's okay. I guess the auxiliary can really screw somebody up depending on what they're doing. It'll change. They'll have to do something different maybe next round to compensate for that. So I can see where that would be useful. I would rather have it do more damage at the primary weapon instead of the normal damage, because you're also having to be within the range 2, but at the same time getting that free bank is kind of nice too. But if you're right behind somebody, depending on their firing arc and whatnot, you might not want to turn. You might want to just stay behind them. The primary weapon's got longer range and harder hitting, so well, not harder hitting, but you know what I mean. So it's kind of a trade-off there, but if you're in the right spot, I could see swooping in, firing this, then using that bank to possibly get you out of their firing arc so they couldn't return fire. Things like that. Depending on the angle you're coming in, it is extra movement too. So interesting one there. We only got 1 tech upgrade in this one. It is Science Station. It is 4 points. Adds a tech upgrade slot to the ship's upgrade bar, so basically it doesn't take the slot that it's in because it's giving it right back to you. As a free action, if the ship is cloaked, you can place 2 time tokens on this card. Place a scan token beside this ship. If an opposing ship is within the ship's primary fire arc, you can perform a target lock action targeting that opposing ship as a free action. So you're basically getting a free action to get a scan action, to get a target lock as a secondary, as another free action, if you're cloaked, and then it disables itself for 2 turns with the time token. So it's an interesting combo. 4 points is a lot, but at the same time, you're getting multiple free actions. So could be useful in the right build if you work around using those tokens and having extra ones. And then finally, we have 2 of the new ambassador cards. I say new because they're new to me. There's an ambassador card here explaining how they work. You're only allowed 1 in your fleet. They get assigned to a ship. At the beginning of the game, before you start, you basically offer up all negotiations with your opponent. And they have to accept or decline. If they accept, the accept parts are up here. If they decline, the decline parts are down here. If they accept, and the ship with this character on it is killed or is destroyed, then they automatically suffer these penalties the following turn. Otherwise, it plays as normal. If they decline, they get the decline thing anyway. So the first one we have here is Camarag. He has 3 points. His negotiation accepted is during the combat phase, this ship and the targeted ship must attack each other if able. Where his denied is the next time the target ship attacks, it rolls -3 attack dice. Our other ambassador is Cord. He's 3 points. And the accepted one is the target ship must plan its maneuver face up during the planning phase. When the target ship sustains damage to its shield or hull, this effect ends. Or if it's declined, you may plan the target ship's maneuver during the next planning phase. The chosen maneuver must be on the dial of the ship and must be a green or white maneuver. Chosen maneuver cannot cause the targeted ship to go out of the play area. So, interesting one there. I kind of like him over the other guy just because the texture of them playing with their dial face up lets you predict what they're going to do or getting to choose for them, which is always fun. Although the other guy has the ability to give him that -3 attack, which is kind of nice, or the forcing them to fight. You could pick one of their weak ships and they have to shoot at one of your strong ships or however you set it up. Could be some interesting combos there. Sorry for the cut here, but I lost some data on a corrupted drive, and part of it I lost was the part where I covered the missions for the faction pack for the Klingons here. So I'm going to go over those real quick. The first one we have here is Blood Oath. This is for 2, 3, or 4 players, and you're chasing down the albino, and it involves the albino playing 50 points, and you have to have him as your captain, versus however many players you want. They are 25 points each. Each Klingon player must take Koloth, Kor, or Kang as their captain. So if you're playing multiple players, you get one of each. You can't use multiples of them. You start in the 3 corners with him up here. You have a planet in the middle with tokens on it as a timer. And I kind of skipped over a card here. At the beginning of each end phase, you're going to remove one of the tokens from the planet. So you got 6 turns basically to complete this. And this one, only one Klingon player can win. All the other Klingon players lose the game, so you have to keep that in mind. And then if winning is not important, why keep score? You can adjust the number of tokens that are on the planet to adjust the difficulty, as well as letting them start closer to the planet. And the finale is basically the albino has to survive until the last token is taken off of the planet. Otherwise, the Klingon player win whoever gets the killing shot on the albino ship. So that sounds like an interesting and fun one, and can't wait to try that out. Both me and my son love playing the Klingons, so we'll see who does better on that. The next one we have here is The Way of the Warrior. This is a 2-player mission where you're basically DS9 and crew are protecting Gul Dukat and the Cardassian ruling council from the Klingons, and your mission is to capture DS9 before Federation reinforcements arrive. I actually have a DS9 token, so you can use it for that, but in this, both players get 100 points. All your ships must be Klingon with Klingon upgrades. Then you place the space station up here, and you put 8 mission tokens on it and 20 shield tokens, because that thing's a tank. You set up down here in the corners. The special rules are on here. Sorry for the reflection. Everything's sleeved now, because this is way later, but there's your stat line for DS9. All ships can take the following actions. If they're within range 1 of DS9 and the shields are destroyed, you can place any number of captains, admiral, and or crew upgrades on the ship beside the station. If they're within range 1 of the station and the shields have been destroyed, you can equip any of your commanders that are on DS9 back onto your ship. During the end phase, you add up the total printed SP of all player cards on DS9. For each SP above 15, the player with initiative rolls an attack die. If at least 4 battle stations are rolled, the station's been captured. DS9 rolls a separate attack versus each ship within range 1 to 2. For added difficulty, you can increase the attack range to 1 to 3. Reduce difficulty, reduce it to 1. And then you remove a mission token from DS9. And the final things here are both players win if the delegation is captured and there are no cards beside DS9 before the last mission token is removed. So you basically have a time limit to get people transported onto DS9, roll those battle station tokens to take it over, and then get your crew back off DS9 before the timer runs out. Interesting mission. I like it. I think I'll play that one with the actual DS9 though, because I have the actual model and everything, so it'll just make it that much more fun. Well, that's it. That's a look at everything that came with the Klingon Faction Pack Blood Oath. It's a very interesting pack. I like the synergies that work well in here. They put together a really good fleet for Klingon play. I think right out of the box, this one's going to be a pretty formidable force. I will say, as me personally, I think the Vorcha is probably the best ship the Klingons have. I've made multiple fleets. I think one of my main fleets that I used in tournaments was 4 Vorcha, the generic class ships with some captains on board. And I won 2 tournaments using that fleet. So it's a pretty mean ship, and I'm kind of disappointed not to see one here. But the theme and everything fits well here with the Katingas. If anything, I would have swapped out maybe the Negh'Var for a Vorcha, but that's totally a personal opinion for me. I think this is perfectly playable as a standalone faction, just as it is. You need a base starter set of the game in order to play, so you can get your templates and all that stuff, which comes with a Vorcha class, so you're going to have that ship anyway to add to these. So right there, I think that combined with these, it gives you plenty of options and a really formidable force. So far out of the faction boxes I have looked at, I think this is one of the more powerful ones straight out of the box and kind of fitting for Klingons. So I like everything about this one. So I'm impressed by this, and I think if you're a Klingon player, you're going to be as well. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for our look at the Star Trek Attack Wing Klingon Faction Blood Oath Pack. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.